Welcome to the Kentucky X-Files, Season 2, with your hosts Dennis Mays, Tyler Stewart, and Josh Gibbs. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, so you never miss an episode. Now, on to our show.
Coming towards me, crouched down. For me, at first, I thought it was just a bird thing.
I thought it was a bear. You can tell the difference between like a small, spindly leg creature and something with a larger foot. And it was big. Whatever it was, it ran straight down at us and just stopped. And it was pitch black. Couldn't see it.
And most of these witnesses that have come close to these things could have been killed.
It was beating on the side of the house. I guess it hit the side of the house as it went by.
Now, when it stood up, that's when I knew it was a dogman.
Like I needed someone to have pure faith in a higher power at that moment, and nobody fucking did.
Welcome back, guys, to the Kentucky X-Files.
Just trying to do a coyote. Sorry.
I thought it sounded like a sad basset hound.
Yeah.
Does it sound like a sad basset hound with a fake gorilla skull?
Yeah, right.
I was trying to go for that, but
I really.
That's what I heard.
That was a cheap shot.
it was. It was. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
You're
know.
like,
Yeah. I'm looking at pictures of gorilla skulls.
well, for context, like, why are you looking at gorilla skulls?
I'm almost dead sure that anybody listening to this show right now has already heard this.
Yeah.
Bear Grylls, Coyote Peterson, some kind of animal first name found a skull.
I feel like we need to do that. Should we give ourselves like animal
Ooh,
names?
that's cool. Like, well, yeah.
What? Wolf Maze.
Oh, Wolf Maze. I like that.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. I'm
Um.
gonna go drink my own pee.
Drink. I know pee.
I have no reason why. Just gonna do it. That's the thing. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's survival, man.
Surviving out here.
And it's okay because it's your pee.
That's right. That's right. Well, what about you guys? What's your?
Well, we can't name ourselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Eagle Tyler.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Eagle Tyler.
Eagle
What?
Tyler.
But would we use our last names though?
Oh, yeah. Eagle Stewart.
Eagle Stewart.
Eagles too.
I like that. He sounds professional.
Sounds like that. He sounds like a.
Yeah, legal steward. Like I feel like I'm about to like stall a law practice.
You're going to lay down the law, Eagle Stewart.
Have you been in a boating accident? You might be entitled to a settlement.
I love it's a bird that it flies, but I deal in only boating accidents. The water.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything else.
Well, eagles, they swoop over the water
That is true.
and they rescue the fish and the snakes out of the water.
That's true. That fish was drowning.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, he was drowning, and that eagle saved his life.
Yep.
That fish has never been happier. What about Josh? What's his animal first name?
Gorilla Gibbs.
Gorilla Gibbs.
Except for it's
just
not
did it
fake.
because-
He's not fake though.
Yeah, he's not fake. He is real because you're listening to him right now on Kentucky X-Files.
I think, you know what I think would have been better? If Coyote Peterson is faking this, you know how he always like lets himself get bit by shit?
Yeah.
I think he should have let a Bigfoot beat the shit out of him on camera.
Right.
You know? Like he's just
Yeah,
inching
guys.
up to it. Alright, I'm gonna let him beat the shit out of me. And then Bigfoot just grabs him and just starts pummeling him all over the place. That would have been exciting.
Right.
Like he would kill two birds with one stone there, like, cause he found proof of Bigfoot, and he had an entertaining show of him getting his ass kicked by Bigfoot.
Right. Oh,
Yep.
Have we ever seen him just straight up go and stick his hand into a hornet's nest?
I don't believe so.
I mean, more than likely, he always just does one bug at a time, right?
I mean, he kind of did with this stunt. You know?
Yeah. That's true, yeah. Yeah. There's a whole big stir in the old cryptid community. I've been watching it. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, at this juncture, that you could almost get Bigfoot himself on camera and interview him, and the cryptid community is still going to go after you. But watching this happen is pretty hilarious because everybody from, like, you know, I mean, everybody you can imagine, including Dr. Meldrum, has jumped on with saying that this is a bunch of horse shit. This is fake.
Well, I mean, it is. If I'm being honest, it fucking is. It has to be, regardless of which direction you go with it. You know, there's no way. First off, that anything that anybody's ever described a Bigfoot looking like is going to have a skull that looks like a lowland gorilla.
Yeah.
So you could check that off the list immediately, right?
That's the first thing I thought when I saw it was they always talk about the eyes being set, you know, far apart. You know what I mean? Like 7 to 8 inches between the two eyes.
Right.
The only thing that I would say is because I remember I watched a documentary. Actually, Denny told me about it. The unwanted Sasquatch or Bigfoot. I can't remember. Yeah, they had some pieces of like a Gigantopithecus, like a lower jaw, and then they 3D mapped what it would look like fully constructed, and it kind of looks like one of these replicas, but we're not depicting it as an offshoot of Gigantopithecus anymore. Like,
yeah,
like because it would like because it had that like that. I don't know what they call it, that fin, the little mohawk kind of bone part on the head.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where the muscles from the jaw, like for the jawbone, go to, because it goes up to the side of its head, to the top of its head.
Right. Well, and the other thing too is a lowland gorilla and orangutan. They're walking mainly on all fours. They can sit up, they can stand up, but they're mainly on all fours when they move around.
Yeah.
So their head has to have the muscles in the back of the neck to pull the head up, so that when you're on all fours, you're looking forward. You know, and animals that are upright don't have that setup. The spine attaches to the skull in a different location, and the muscles attached to the skull in a different location. So they don't need that big fin type thing that's on the back to pull the head back. You know, so that was my next point, is that there's no way that it could be anything but a gorilla's skull, obviously, because it is one. You know, the other thing is that this is British Columbia.
Yeah.
Let's think about that for a second. Where do lowland gorillas live? Anybody know?
The lowlands?
Yeah, of?
The Highlands.
Ireland.
It's like one of those,
Highlander.
Like play on words.
I mean,
They call it lowland, but they live in the highlands.
most of these gorillas come from Africa, right? I mean,
the Congo is the lowland gorilla, right? All right, now let's think about the environment, right?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's got a lot of woods, just like British Columbia. But you know what it doesn't have?
Snow.
An absolute metric shitload of snow.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to say that you've got this primate skull of a primate whose habitat is the frickin' Congo, you know, like the place that you wake up sweating, your sweats.
Yeah. Okay.
and you found it in this place that's between Washington State and Alaska.
I think I'm getting what you're getting at here.
Right. Even if it was real,
this
it never
gorilla
would have lived.
moved to British Columbia because he wanted snow.
Right. Yeah, he was a snowboarding. It was like Cool Runnings, right? So, but instead of he wasn't the African bobsled team. He was he was into snowboarding.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, it definitely doesn't work. I mean, Meldrum put up a thing saying that, you know, basically looking at these. If you look at the pictures of the skull in the picture, there's all these little, you know, like holes in them and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then he goes and shows you that, you know, you can buy replica gorilla skulls and they have the same little holes, same spot, you know. But then, like, as I started looking at, like, actual gorilla skulls, I'm seeing those little holes in them anyway, so I'm like, I'm hoping there's a, you know, something a little bit more, what do you call it? Like showing exactly. I know you can age something like this and make it look bad. Man, this just looks like it's been dunked in the mud.
The thing of it is, though, is they all have the holes, but if you notice the picture, the one I sent over to you guys, where it's next to the Etsy skull, the holes are identical. Whereas if you start looking up gorilla skulls, like the holes aren't all the same, and they're in different spots.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, they're definitely like dead on.
Yeah. And, you know, okay, so I'm looking at a lowland gorilla skull, and that one doesn't have the fin. So maybe that's not supposed to be a lowland. No, here's one with a fin. That's weird.
Yeah, I just found one that says Western Lowland Gorilla Skull, and it does not have a fin.
Right, but it's got the webbing across the back of the skull.
Yeah.
See how it rolls around? I'm looking at the exact same one you're looking at, Tyler. And if you go down, if you pull that picture up and you go down 3, all of them have the fin. It's weird, but all the holes aren't in the exact same location. Like this one here, and copy this, put it in the chat. I wish everybody could see this as we're doing it, but there you go. See how that doesn't have the holes in the same location?
Yeah.
Right. But this one kind of does.
Yeah, it sure does. He's got the teeth covered up in these pictures. There's like one shot of the teeth, and the teeth are extremely white for something that's been, you know, buried in the ground. Huh. Interesting.
I'm going to look, see if I can't find the images again. Yeah, it's listed as a huge discovery. Yeah. That skull looks almost identical to the last one I just sent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's close enough, in my opinion.
So, I don't know, man. It just...
Yeah. So, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, what's his point here? Is his popularity getting a little low? Decided
That'd be
to
my guess.
tap into the old Bigfoot community.
Right. That'd be my guess. It's that. I mean, let's be honest here. He might just be a clueless bystander that is affected by somebody else's prank. You know, if we give him the benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah.
What if somebody bought one of those skulls off of Etsy or something like that and planted it in the British Columbia forest?
I mean,
just waiting for somebody to come find it.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see people doing that.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty good. That'd be good, like a pretty good prank, you know?
I mean, you know that people are Bigfoot hunting up there all the time, you know? So it's very possible that somebody did this on purpose.
Right. I wouldn't doubt it. Honestly, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, it's like the best place. You know, if you're gonna do a hoax, then, you know, if you're gonna do a hoax, best place to do it.
Here's your teeth picture.
The only thing that I'm actually watching the video of him finding it. And
can you link that?
Yeah. Copy.
Alright. I'm gonna watch this real quick. How long is this?
It's
14 minutes.
Are you guys gonna want to come film this?
I'm not gonna watch the whole thing.
Like
But
eye cavity sticking up?
He finds it at 11 around I want to say he actually starts to find it around 11:50.
yeah.
I'm just saying. Okay, I'll let you watch it and then give you what my thought is on it.
I'm skipping to 11:50 right now to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
The river.
I'm trying to figure out how to make it open as just a player.
West Virginia? Yeah.
I guess I had to open YouTube to make that work.
Sometimes I doubt his ability to find skulls, because I'm off looking for snakes, he's looking for skulls.
Oh, good lord. It just went full screen. I lost Discord and everything.
No, it's probably there. I'm sure it's probably there.
My computer is not happy with me.
Slowly
There we go.
try to unearth it. You guys good?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear my computer. It sounds like it's percolating coffee at the moment.
Yes. Oh, it's a bear. It is definitely a bear skull.
Let's see here. You say it's 11:50 is when he finds it?
I would probably go a little bit further, probably like 11:53.
Put that down.
He looks so confused.
Yeah, put that down.
Holy cow, dude. That is not a bear.
Yeah.
Dude, he like jumps up and walks away from it real quick. Like, I think Josh, you might be on the money here. Just looking at his body language, he looks like he's so excited that he found a bear skull, and then all of a sudden he's.
I mean, I'm almost afraid to say it.
He's like, that's not a bear skull.
Okay, hold on a second here. Did you guys notice anything strange about at 12:18?
12:18 going to.
Go to 12:18.
So what I'm going to do is slowly
Coming up on
try to unearth
12:18
it. You got
and paused.
All right. You guys see anything that stands out as weird to you right there?
I was waiting. This is personally me. I feel like this is way too out there to be like, because half of it's shown, and it looked like it wanted to be fine. I'm not saying that, like, I won't say this. I'll see if I'll get on the bandwagon with Gibbs here, thinking that somebody planted it and it just happened to be like he happened to come around it.
There's a lot of loose rocks up on top of it, which doesn't really work.
Right, and they're all smooth rocks. They're all smooth rocks.
Yeah,
but that's what I was like saying. Like, he unearthed this with his hands.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, I'm just saying, like, I just something that's probably like that much decomposed. Like, wouldn't you think it would be buried? Like, it has to have been buried for a long time. But there is a water source there. Like, I thought I saw they're right behind.
Yeah, but
like,
that's a moot point for what I'm making. So if you notice that all the smooth rocks are piled up on top of the skull, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen smooth rocks out of the flow of water.
The only thing I would say. The only other thing I would say that it could, the water was high and it was just over it. But
water doesn't pick up the rocks off the bottom.
But I meant over time.
Right. I get that. But then the skull would look very, very different.
But that's what I'm kind of saying. Like, I feel like it's sitting too odd to. I really feel like it stuck out like a sore thumb, and I really feel like it was planted because the way that, like, how he just pulled it out with his bare hands, it was easy. Like, I just don't see it being that easy. Like, finding this kind of stuff. Like, you don't just find random bones just sitting somewhere like that often, especially like how they say about like bear skulls. You wouldn't like, it's a rare occasion that you'll find a bear skull.
Right. It's apparent that all the way at the very point where this video starts, it's all about Bigfoot.
Right.
That's what.
Everything about this video, like he keeps walking around and he finds like bent over trees. That's odd. Whoa, this is weird, and all this, and then boom, he's like the luckiest man alive and finds a Bigfoot skull. That's what the story's supposed to be.
Right.
But yeah, smooth stones won't be on top of anything. They'll be at the bottom. The other thing that gets me is that they're perfectly,
can see them right there.
Yeah, they're perfectly placed around it.
Yeah.
There's like, even when he starts to unearth it, you can clearly look at around it, and none of these smooth stones that are on top of this are anywhere else. They're only on top of this.
The one thing I'll give him credit for is they don't have the lower mandible.
Yeah.
That was a good move. That was a good play. If it would have had the lower mandible, we can immediately just call bullshit, because those two are almost never found together. But I don't know. To me, it's either he is the trying to portray the luckiest Bigfoot hunter in the history of all Bigfoot hunters to go out because he didn't do a whole lot of Bigfoot stuff before this, right?
No, never.
Right. So all of a sudden he goes to Bigfoot country looking for Bigfoot and finds a Bigfoot skull.
Right.
But I don't want to like go on to that route because there's always that chance that somebody could get lucky. But it's odd that he's this lucky.
Well, and the other thing you got to think of too is he publicly announced that he smuggled the skull out of Canada.
I saw there's a part of the video where he actually shows him going through the airport.
Right. But do you know how much trouble he could get in if it was a real skull?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like, since it's actually, it's like, what is that, like? It's remains, even if it's a, like, an animal, like any type of animal. Like, don't you have to go through some type of paperwork to actually, like, you can't take it onto a plane. It has to be mailed or something, doesn't it? I might be, I'm a little ignorant on this part, so I don't know for sure, but I feel like there's some kind of, I would say, health risks that they would bring up by bringing remains onto a plane.
Skip to the video 1406. Why place the skull back in the mud again and prop a little stick up on it again? I was just saying.
I was just about to say that too. Because you actually see that earlier in the thing, after he unearths it, like he does it again, like it cuts to another shot of it randomly in the mud. But I was like, why is it in the mud again?
Yeah, it's like you unearth it and then you put it back. Like, why?
Right. So I'm reading an article where a scientist flat out says that is not a real skull, it's a cast.
Yeah.
It's a copy.
Hole on the side. Is that the hole that they're talking about? I know they're talking about, like, the holes under the left eye, like I would say, the left eye.
Right.
But what's that hole in the left? Like, on the skull. Like, on the back of the skull.
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I see it, but
that would be where the spinal column connects.
No, not all the way in the back, on the side of the head.
Oh, it's probably just a place where nerve endings or something pass through. You know, if it's a cast of a skull, it's going to be as realistic as possible because it's probably used for science, you know.
Well, I don't know if there's no holes in any of these other ones. Like, if you look up pictures. Like, because the side view of it on the back of the, like, towards the...
Put a picture in the chat so we can see what you're talking about.
look at all the molars that are still in the skull.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I did not mean to do that.
Yeah, there's too many molars still in that skull. I found deer skulls with a few molars still in them.
Yeah, but usually the molars don't stick.
Right.
Like I found cattle skulls, and even if the molars are in, they're really loose.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's just not working for this, and it's sad too because when I first saw this pop up, I was like, oh, cool, you know?
Right.
Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, being that it's in running water, you know, it would have to be a very recent death. You know?
Right.
But would it be would it have nothing on it if it was a recent death? Like how long does decomposing like all the meat would go away?
I'm not sure on that one.
Well, that one, yeah. That can be that could be on a lot of variables. I mean, how many insects are active during this time of year when it was, you know, whatever, what kind of predators are around that are going to sit there and, you know, eat the meat off of it. I don't see any teeth marks all over the skull. I mean, you leave a deer head in the woods, you know, it's going to be there for a little bit, but eventually stuff will start, you know, chopping off of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. As much as I was excited when this first came about, I'm kind of bummed because it's like
that.
Here we go.
That right there is what a real skull looks like, found in a creek bed.
Right. Pretty wild.
Yeah, it's entirely different. The color of the bones are different. The placement of the sediment and the rocks.
Okay. Come on. It's taking 10 years just to send my picture over. Yeah, that hole right there, that big hole on the side of the skull.
Yeah.
On the other pictures, like castings are, I don't know. I personally can't tell which is real or not, but even on all of these, I don't see a hole on the side. Unless that's, they're trying to say that's an injury or something.
That's pretty deep in for it to be an injury. Yeah, I'm not finding anything with a hole in the skull right there either. Behind the orbital socket. That's strange.
Huh.
Yeah, that's strange.
Well, here, this is... Oh, no, I don't know. I can't tell on this one. See what you guys think.
Wow, it is taking a long time for you to send stuff, isn't it?
Oh no, I needed a, what the hell was it? Download it. This is considered, I guess this is actually at a museum or something, so I'm assuming that it's real, so it doesn't have those two holes, like those holes in the bottom left eye.
Yeah.
So, I know you guys were saying that you couldn't find anything without that, or Denny said that?
No, I was fine. I found some without it. I posted
you
a
found
couple
some?
earlier. I'm not finding any with the hole in the picture, like you pointed out. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is confusing the shit out of me. I don't know.
That's not a break, though. That's an obvious, like, it's there for a reason. Like, that's like
I hate to
cast
say
that way.
The way that it's looking to me, because if you look around the rim of it, it looks like it's been countersunk, like somebody drilled a big hole and then countersunk it. I don't know if that's just the dirt, like the mud built up around the hole that's making it look like it's countersunk.
No, I'm with you. That looks like it's on purpose.
Yeah,
and that's the only side it's on. That's the left side. I don't know if it's on the right side.
I've scrolled like 17 times down through Google Images just looking at gorilla skulls, and I can't find a single one with the hole.
It's interesting.
Oh dang, that shot was a lot better. There's a better view, and it actually looks like it is a little countersunk too. You can see the edges.
Yeah.
I don't want to continue on the hole. I don't know what the fuck the hole is.
Right. I mean, we could waste an entire episode on a hole.
Yeah, on that hole. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I don't know. Like, are you guys leaning more towards what kids was saying? Oh, well, you guys both. Are you both still on the fence of like how, like, is this is he trying to do this, or do you think he got bamboozled?
I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt until I saw the whole video was based around Bigfoot.
Based around it,
yeah.
And then he put it back in the mud. But at the end, it shows him put the skull back under. I'm not listening to this.
Well, no, he puts it under to hide it, then he gets a bag to put it in so he can sneak it out of the country. And that's where I'm at with it is there's no way in hell you're going to publicly announce that you are, going through and sneaking remains out of a country. You know what I mean? Can you say extradition?
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's not how that works.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think I think it was deliberately done.
Yeah, I think it was planted, and I think it was planted by somebody he knows.
Yeah, somebody in that group probably. Because
Yeah.
if you look at all their body language, not everybody's even reacting the same way.
Yeah.
You got one guy standing, in the back with like a camera and trying to talk to him, and he's got this grin on his face, like he's trying to feign disbelief, but it's not. He's not very good at it. And honestly, the most believable person in the whole thing is probably Coyote. But I mean, it's kind of his job, right, to be believable.
Right.
So I don't know. Speaking of unbelievable, you guys want to hear something crazy? My favorite topic, like, oh my god, my favorite topic.
Dogman?
The Dogman. I know I showed you guys a little bit of something that came up earlier this week. I actually didn't ask permission to use his name, but I will. A guy who, I guess he checked out one of the episodes or whatever, and he actually sent me a message like, hey, he's like, did you ever hear about this or whatever? And turns out there was a Dogman sighting like not even 5 miles away from where I live.
Really?
And when I first read it, I was like, sorry. When I first read it, I was like, really? Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, it's like the one topic where I'm like, I'm not on the fence really at all on this one. I'm pretty sure that Dogman is just mistaken identity or delusion. I don't know. He said around 2003 or 2004. He even said that his sighting was what he considered boring. Him and his buddy saw something black on two legs for a couple seconds while they were coyote hunting. Right? And it was about 5 feet high. And he said that it was definitely in the area. And he said that upon returning to that area months later, he felt like he was being stalked. He felt like he could feel eyes on him. You know what I mean? And I asked him, like whereabouts in the area. He gave me the road name, and when I looked up the road name, I could damn near walk there. You know what I mean? Like it's super close.
Really?
So I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I actually I asked him like what he why would he lean towards Dogman? Thinking that it was Dogman. I was like, well, we've had Sasquatch reports in this area. And they're pretty common. You know what I mean? There's folks out here that are like, they'll put their watch and warrant on it that yeah, they're here. Blah blah blah. They passed through. And he said, much as he's always liked the idea of his words, not mine. Much as he's always liked the idea of a Wookiee companion, the movement wasn't right.
Right.
He said that it didn't move like that, and he said the only reason they didn't shoot was because they had no idea what they were looking at.
I mean, that's good. Don't shoot if you don't know your target.
Yeah.
I want to throw this out there because it's with the time frame. It just actually dawned on me, and you're saying that it was like them saying it's a bear and the size of it.
Yeah.
It was black.
2003 to 2004.
It's actually in the same time frame that I saw that bear-like creature in the woods behind my house.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, man, I don't I don't know what to say on that one. I mean, not terribly far apart looking at the map. So, I don't know. I mean,
it actually it throws me off because like the size of the thing, 5 feet. It like that. I've never I've heard a couple stories where they said that they saw like a dog-like creature that's that tall. Like I've heard it on some shows and read somewhere like some places, but never. But thinking about it, when I said I told my my story of seeing that bear-like creature, I just to this day I still think it was a bear.
Yeah.
Just because of the way it looked, I like the way it looked to me, but it was smaller. So I thought it was maybe not a, I wouldn't say a baby bear, but more of a adolescent. I guess it wasn't that small, but it wasn't your typical. I wouldn't say your typical size bear. Yeah. I would say black bear at least, but. So, it just dawned on me. I wasn't even thinking about that, but that would be around the time frame that I had my little sighting.
Right. It would be pretty wild if your sighting was a dogman.
Yeah.
You know?
He did turn into a bush. It's still.
He didn't turn into a bush.
Yeah.
So that's going to be our thing forever now, you know.
Yeah, the bush.
We're going to be confronted by an actual dog man, and he's not going to turn into a bush, and we're going to be sitting there doubting that he's an actual dog man.
Yeah, you need to turn into a bush, man.
He'll be slowly creeping towards us with his fangs dripping saliva because he's about to have a meal, and we're sitting there like, man, I don't know. He's not turning into a bush. I don't think he's the real deal. That's the last time you heard from us. So yeah, I don't know. Me and him got into a conversation about Land Between the Lakes. You know, that whole fiasco.
Good old chestnut.
Yeah. Basically talking about how it's interesting how cold that trail is. I mean, don't get me wrong, the story is being kept alive. The story is being retold and told again until you've heard so many versions of it, you don't even know what's real anymore. But the actual trail, the actual evidence, you know, I challenge anyone to even give me the name of the family who was supposedly massacred.
Really?
Yep.
Nobody has been able to release that?
No one's ever come forward that I can, you know. There's supposedly a guy that came forward recently saying that he was a witness to the attack. But I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. Well, did something happen in the Land Between the Lakes? Maybe. Who knows, you know? But if there's powers that be out there that don't want you to know what happened, you're not going to. You're not going to twist somebody's arm and get them to tell you. It's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
More than likely, at that case, you know, say some creature unknown to man comes out of the woods and massacres a family, and the authorities find all the evidence. They get there. Well, what do? Do we close down a absolutely enormous park? You know what I mean? I mean, you're talking like 1% of the total land in Kentucky is this park. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you going to close down the whole park because of this? No. It's easier to make the story go away. You know, you're never, like I said, you're never going to get, no one's ever going to come out and give you definitive proof of that. At least not in my opinion. It doesn't benefit anybody. You know?
Well, yeah, if you, if you come out and you say, well, this is the case of where it is, you know, and there's, you know, police evidence or documented case of what it actually was, it ruins the entire mythology behind it, you know?
Sure. Yeah, it doesn't do any good because, for one thing, the story draws people there by the droves, you know. But yeah, it doesn't do any good to anybody. It draws people. The mystery draws people. If the truth comes out, it hurts the park. I mean, there's no positive, no matter which way you look at it.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got an even, you know, another thing is like, okay, say the truth does come out and say it is some unknown creature. Well, now you've got a government issue because the government knew. So the farther away we get from the actual supposed date of the event, without any kind of evidence coming forward, the worse that implication gets, which means that they'll never let anything come out. So more than likely, the guy who supposedly saw the whole thing and come forward, he's just a guy wanting to do a YouTube show.
Right.
You know, and it sucks. You know, because we'll never know. But
you know, I was actually talking with Sam about this at breakfast, about how we were going to basically roast a coyote over an open flame,
yep.
You know, and, you know, it does a disservice. Shit like this does a disservice. Now, I've never ever once let it on any other way than I am the skeptic, you know, that I believe that these creatures did exist.
No.
I know we've got blueprints for it. And I believe that's the reason why the tale's been handed down over generations, and they're still handed down, and that's why it's on every continent, you know?
Right.
So I don't know if there is lingering ones out there or not, but I know that I got a 90% chance in my head that they did exist. But when stuff like this happens with Coyote,
yeah,
or any of these other, you know, eyewitnesses, but nobody can produce a name stories,
right?
You know, when that stuff comes out, it does a major disservice to the community because it makes us all look like fools.
Absolutely.
You know, like we're all just chasing ghosts. And that's all this did. This is just making it a laughing stock, you know, of the Bigfoot community. You know, the people out there that think he's still out there, you know, good on you. You know,
right.
I don't have any problems with it whatsoever. I just don't think he's still out there. Now, people are seeing shit in the woods. I want to know what the hell it is.
Right.
The ones that are being honest. And stuff like this, all it does is snowballs. It lights fires, and it causes people to do more shit just like this.
Sure.
And it's a disservice to the science behind.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Coyote, you should be ashamed of yourself, bub. If you planted it. If somebody else planted it and you just got caught up in the mess, then, you know, that prankster's epic.
Probably one of the best hoaxers ever.
Right, like that's a great prank. But it just got snowballed, you know?
Yeah. Plus, I mean, who do you tell? You know, if another YouTube video comes out where it's like, I totally made these guys believe that they found Bigfoot, then you know that would be pretty huge, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. We have another case that should be addressed. The case of the disappearing Spotify channel.
Oh, yeah.
So I've played very, very nice, and I've kept my manners about me for the last 4 weeks about this. But the truth is, folks, I have not been given a good explanation for the Spotify channel. All I've been given is just wait a little bit longer. Just wait a little bit longer. It should update. It never has, and it doesn't seem like it's going to. Worst case scenario is I'll start a new Spotify channel for this show and just launch it. And fuck them. But thanks, Anchor. Appreciate it. Further convincing me that moving over to Spreaker was the absolute right thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's aggravating too because, you know, my FedEx guy is a podcast listener, And when he was the good FedEx guy, not the guy that ruined my $1,000 set of aluminum heads for the El Camino, the guy that put the new heads in the cab of his truck to make sure that they got here safe, that guy, you know, if you're listening, man, you're awesome and I appreciate you. You know, he saw the podcast set up in the garage and was asking me about it. And he says, man, can I check you out on Spotify? And I was like, crap. Yeah, you can up until, you know, season 2, episode 14.
There technically is a second Spotify channel for us running through Spreaker right now, and all of the episodes are on it.
Really?
Yes, it is not technically the same address as our other one, though. That's the only downside. So anybody who was following the other one, truthfully, they're just not gonna. I mean, unless they actively look for it, they're not gonna see it. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I'll throw a link in the. I'll throw a link in the old. Yeah, there it is.
Were we able to get on Pandora by chance?
We are submitted to Pandora. So as soon as they give us the.
Because that'll help us.
Yep.
That'll help us for sure. You know.
There it is, right there. And I will throw this on the Facebook page too.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's so many people that are just probably wondering what the hell happened to us. You know, that don't know to look because they haven't checked us out on another platform to know that we're having issues with Spotify.
I could contest to that. There's times where I found a podcast on Spotify, but I've never checked them out on anything else, or
right.
I never thought about checking them out on anything else. So if they didn't put anything up on their Spotify,
you just stop listening. Yeah,
I forget about it. It's like, oh, okay, I guess they're good. I guess they're done. It's like that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, we're not done. We're still here.
Thousands of followers and fans on that Spotify channel, and honestly, they have no way of knowing what's going on if that's their preferred, whatever. Thanks a lot, Anchor. Appreciate it.
And that's actually where I listened to us.
Yep.
You know, where I would go in on Monday mornings and listen to our own show, and you know, I wouldn't do it on the YouTube unless we did. I said the YouTube. How old am I? I wouldn't do it on YouTube because in order to listen to us on YouTube, you have to keep your phone open.
Right.
As soon as you close your phone or open another app, it's over with. Well, if I'm driving and I need my GPS, I need my maps up, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I'm in construction. I've got to find places that don't exist yet. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a treasure hunt, you know?
Absolutely.
So I need maps. I need to figure out where I'm going. And I can't do YouTube for us. You know, if it's a video we put up, maybe I'll sit at the house in the studio here and I'll watch it. But yeah, man, I feel bad for all those people that were enjoying the show and have no idea that we haven't disappeared. We're still here. We're just having issues with people that have control that we have no control over.
Absolutely. Speaking of the YouTube channel, I've seen a pretty decent little surge in people subscribing. Welcome, glad to have you.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Don't be a stranger. Make sure you comment and speak your mind.
Hi. Say hi in the chat. Tell us if you think we're, you know, if we're right or if we're wrong. Give us reasons.
Yep.
Communicate. We love it.
Absolutely.
Email us.
I definitely want one of our recent subscribers' name. I really gotta shout this guy out. 99 problems, but a fish ain't one. I'm just saying that's like fantastic name.
I love it.
Fantastic name. But yeah, nice little boost in subscribers. Really appreciate that. We are growing.
Do we have any comments we need to comment on?
Let's see here.
Or emails?
I didn't see any emails today, unfortunately.
Oh,
that's been kind of the thing lately. I think it's like every other week we get like a little surge of emails.
I've got one from season 2, episode 22. Can't believe we're already on episode 22.
Yeah,
that's crazy. If I can get the ads to go away here, Rob Mullins. Said, another great show, guys. Keep them coming. Sounds like another walk around of the El Camino when it is finished.
Nice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With it running this time. That would be, that's the plan. And I probably won't be as embarrassed to pop the hood this time.
Hell
so
yeah.
we'll definitely do that, man.
Oh yeah, I like. See, loved this one. Touched a lot of things I'm interested in. My son has a Neuralink in his chest to stabilize his epilepsy from episode 20. Thought that's pretty cool. Very cool. Travis Drum commented on episode 20. This episode is deep. Love hearing you guys discuss this topic in regards to artificial intelligence. Very, very cool. But yeah, it is growing. You know, it's growing. It's doing all right. I'd like to see our Spotify back in the running, but like I said, there's kind of a little backup Spotify going, so hopefully it finds its way to the folks. And if not, I will continue to battle it out with Anchor until.
So we do have at least one person that is keeping up with us on YouTube. Equine Fugel. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that last part right.
Yeah.
Said, great podcast as always, guys. Been listening on Spotify for the last wee while. And that was on episode 18 of season 2, the Appalachian Cryptid episode. Nice. So I hope that there's more people like Equine Fugel that is trying to find us.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice. But yeah, I'm not seeing any emails this week. Very, very interesting though. I don't know what the I don't know what the holdup is for Anchor. I figured I don't know. I kept thinking that maybe it's because Anchor and Spotify are like really tight or something. You know, I don't know.
Like they're in cahoots.
I don't know. I mean, I know like one of them owns the other. I don't know who, but I was just like, hey, you know, like guys, it's still good for you to keep us going. It's just that Spreaker was better for us, you know. So sorry.
Yeah, actually, the CryptidCon community's got a post of the open Spotify Kentucky X-Files. Was that you, Denny, with the new X-Files page?
Yeah, it should be sharing from ours to theirs.
Okay, so I've got to figure out how. Okay, I got to hit the follow right here. All right, now I'm following our own show.
There you go.
So that's fantastic. Now I just got to remember which one's which.
Yeah, that's the best part of it. It's confusing.
Yes, I love that it's confusing and out of our hands.
Same.
Yeah, we have no control. So.
Yep.
Email us, guys. We need more emails, especially local stuff here in the NKY area.
Absolutely.
Hell, email us from anywhere.
Yeah.
Email us from other countries.
Yeah.
We have some love from Australia, Scotland. I know there was another one that I think called
the Australian thing. Oh man, that reminds me. We never did that thing we were going to do, Denny.
Yeah, I know.
Because we never got to it because you were searching and talking with people. Australian listeners, if you're out there and you can hear me, I hope you can. My cousin's mother, which is also my cousin, I think she's my second cousin, has been missing for a couple years now, and we can't get any information whatsoever from anybody in the Australian government. We haven't heard anything from her since the era when the wildfires were happening. So if anybody over there could get their hands on a victims list from the wildfires and get it to us, that would be fantastic. Or if you're out there and you know of an American that disappeared on the Midwest area of Australia, you know, reach out to us. That would be greatly appreciated.
Yep. I sent out so many emails about that subject, specifically for, to try to find her, and the only one that has tried to help is Jesus Christ. Where's that here? And you can tell I haven't got anything in a while. Yeah, Perth missing people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one that I sent everything to, and I haven't heard anything back, so I don't know what to think.
Right.
Yeah,
her name's Rosemarie, and she's been missing for a while now. How old did we figure out she was? She was in her 50s?
Yeah, she's
or 60s.
58.
60s. Yeah, 58. Yeah, exactly. I hate that I have to ask this, but it was like all information that wasn't important to me growing up. I didn't care how old my cousins were,
Right, yeah.
But, yeah, she left sometime in the early 2000s and went over there, and everything was fine up until around the time of the wildfires, and nobody has heard from her. The American Embassy hasn't helped us. Nobody in the Australian government, the police, their detectives has reached out. It's disconcerting, and her son would definitely like to at least have closure,
Yeah. It would be nice to know, that I'd like to find out that she's just living a good life over there somewhere, just hasn't been online,
Right.
That would be awesome. But either way, it would be nice to know. I was pretty. I went pretty far into that one, digging, and I just kept coming up empty.
Yeah, and I paid for some of the People Search services, and did complete searches on her, and all the trails stop as soon as she leaves the country.
Yeah. Well, maybe somebody out here listening, maybe they can help out if they live over there and they have any way to get us information. Please do so. That'd be fantastic.
Yep.
What do you think, guys? Should we let these guys have their rest of their day?
Absolutely.
Or do an 8-hour-long episode?
There's a negative to that. I have things I got to do, including I just picked up another 3 gallons of honey. So.
Oh, nice.
I've got magic to make happen.
Hell yeah. Well, right on, guys. I'll get this thing thrown together and get it ready to upload.
Perfect.
And
all right, everybody out there in X-File land, y'all have a good week, and email us.
Absolutely.
Please. Email us.
Yep.
Comment.
Hashtag Anchor sucks.
Yeah. Comment Anchor sucks on the YouTube.
Oh God.
Hashtag release Kentucky X-Files Spotify channel. That's a long hashtag. I'll get
Free X-Files.
Free X-Files.
Or no, KYX Files.
Yeah, free KYX.
I don't want to get a copyright.
Yeah, that's true. David Duchovny comes knocking on our door.
Oh man, I'd totally record the conversation too.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if he's yelling at us.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yep.
Before we get into another random debate.
Yep. All right, y'all take care of each other out there. See you next time.
Good guys.
There's an owl out there hanging around, and it's pulled my number for sure. I can't remember if I said any last words, because the day before was a blur. They buried the old man about a week ago, and I wouldn't shed a tear if I could. Now we didn't see eye to eye, you see, until he closed his eyes for good. the gun. Beware the good times in your life. They just hide the bad for a while. That feeling you hide behind the tears and the pain is the reason you can smile. His wings and he's calling for me. I think I'll lay down for a while.